Sweden's prime creation has recently released their album Souls of the Fallen, their fourth album since forming in 2015. Built with melodic riffs and high energy, the band has delivered 8 heavy metal songs that are sure to please fans of the genre, new and old. We're here to give you our thoughts on the album.
I'll just come out and say it. This is probably in my top 5 favourite albums that have come out this year already. Like it's been out for a couple of weeks. We like to do it this way. We like to, not get in early and then listen to it once or twice and then do a review. We like to, digest an album, have plenty of time to sort of sit with it and see where it takes us. So, yeah, it's definitely up there. The more I hear it, the more I love it. Still discovering sort of new things when I listen to it, like, oh, didn't hear that keyboard part before, or, another probably keyboard part over in this song that I didn't notice before. Yeah, I'm being silly with the keyboards, but you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of, you find more in albums the longer you sit with them, if they're the kind of album that have that kind of detail, and this absolutely is. Like, a lot of thought has gone into the song structure and the songwriting. I want to know what you think about the lyrics, because you're the lyrics guy. Like, you like to dig in.
I do.
Tell me what you think.
I am very much drawn to lyrics, it seems to be, and like you, this was an album that I liked the first time I heard, and then just kept being drawn back to it. Just kept finding more and more things, and then these lyrics just start to cut through there. There is songs that focus on war themes. There's songs that focus on inner conflict and dealing with your own demons. I thought that his delivery of these words just really cut through. Once again, comes down to production and everything being in the right level. One of my favorite lyrics in the album is in the song Ashes of Trust. And this one just cut through. It's probably the best line on the album. There's a line, stick a knife in my back, out through the heart. Like, everyone heard about the knife in the back and then just going out through the heart. It's just making that old saying just even more punchy. And
yes.
Just delivered it was just conviction. Fucking awesome moment.
Yeah, I agree. I heard that too, and I thought, whoa, that's a big line. That's a big lyric. It really kind of stuck with me as soon as you said it. I'm like, yes, that was a moment. But yeah, there's some good lyric writing in this. Definitely. That song is quite deep, actually. I found it quite personal. So yeah, it doesn't sound like that. If it was a personal, real life experience. I mean, not literally, the knife. That's metaphorically, but just what led to that song can't have been a happy tale.
You get such a visually striking and emotively weighty lyric like that. It makes you wonder, how did no one think of writing that before? Because knife in the back has been around for eons, and just out through the heart as well. It just makes it so much more powerful.
I'm screaming out your name. Now I rise through the fire, fall through the flames. My whole life fell apart. Stab the knife in my back, out through the heart.
Now, Bel, there's something really interesting about this album. I got a little story to share. I was doing some research, finding out about the ins and outs and who produced and everything. Now, you're a big In Flames fan. I'm a big Ghost fan. There's actually something that connects both bands in regards to this album. And I had no idea about this, so this is going to be interesting. So this was produced by a guy called Neil Nielsen. He has worked with both Ghost and In Flames. He was a nameless ghoul in Ghost, because they all have he was the cowbell ghoul. So occasionally he'd come out with a cowbell. That was his role. He was also a tour manager for a while. He's also the touring keyboard player in Flames. I'm guessing probably off stage.
Off stage.
I've seen live footage, and you've seen them live. So yeah. But it's fascinating. This guy seems to be one of those go-to Swedish musicians that produces a lot of albums as well, and tour managers. He seems to be an all-rounded, really talented musician.
That's really cool. And so he's produced this album, or is he in the band?
Yeah, he produced it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Which brings me to like mentioning the production, because this album sounds great all the way through.
Yeah, perfect. Everything's at just the right level. Nothing's too far forward, not loud enough. It's all crisp, top class production on it.
What I liked about it is it sounded modern while keeping that old school energy of this classic heavy metal what you want, but it doesn't go into the path of like, just because we've got a million tricks at the touch of a button, we don't have to use them all in one album or one song.
Yeah.
There was a few little ear candy pieces here and there. I think there's a scream in the first song that kind of gets a little choppy, little effect that they do.
Very.
Which I thought
disturbed.
was cool. Yeah, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't all the way through. It just suited that moment in that song. Just put a little bit of ear candy to it, made it just a little bit unique.
Also, kind of pushing things forward when they do need it. Like, it's just very well balanced, but you do. So, for instance, the keys will come to the forefront at the right moments. Most of the time they're in the background. Sorry, I just want. I know we want to sort of discuss things generally, but I just want to say the keys on this album. I know it's a very guitar-driven album, and I'm all for that, but the keys, for me, being also a keyboard player, they were just so good. Understated, shone here and there, which I loved hearing, but just solid as anything and just beautifully played. So props to the keyboard player. Love your work, dude.
I would be surprised if there is a keyboard in any album we review and you don't mention it. It'd be like me not saying, these guitar solos are awesome, and they are all the way through. There's some really, really cool guitar solos all the way through, and I think the playing just really, really melodic, suits the song, takes over from the vocals when it needs to, and just keeps that melody going. And the interplay with the keyboards, as you're mentioning, the keys just build things out. I think the guitarist and the keyboards just work really well together. So contributes to the awesome listen all the way through.
I found that the guitar work, there were some really nice kind of licks throughout, like Souls of the Fallen, the title track. Being a big In Flames fan, I just felt there were so many little kind of noodly bits throughout throughout the album actually, but very much in that song, that just reminded me so much of what In Flames do. Just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, not being a guitarist, but just the way that they sort of riffed or played little, what are they called? You know that In Flames kind of sound that...
I know what you're getting at. It's really hard to kind of describe that style, because it's not a lead break. It's part of the riff. It's just little embellishments, I suppose you could call them. Little
embellishments,
just a little bit of frosting on the cake.
Yeah,
that's it,
so
exactly.
I heard quite a bit of that sprinkled throughout this album, and I just this is familiar to me, but it was also fresh. Like, it was, I'm not saying they sound exactly like In Flames, they sound very much like themselves, but it was just nice to kind of hear that perhaps influence coming through in their choices. I love the vocal choruses in the chorus, like the gang vocals, for want of a better term, in a lot of the choruses. So the song Ghosts is a good example of that. Fantastic song. I like, actually, in that song there's like an eerie kind of dramatic breakdown section right in the middle, which I particularly love, but the whole song is a banger. Legends Never Die has an epic chorus as well. I don't think there's actually a song on this album that isn't just an awesome banger of a song. Like, it just all the way through, and it's pretty consistent tempo wise. They do drop it down a bit, which is cool, in a couple of songs, but otherwise it's pretty consistent. But the feels are also pretty different while still being kind of coherent all through as a listen. It goes for just under 40 minutes, and I think I love an album that sits around that time frame. Like, it's just enough for me. Like, I'm still hyped, I'm not bored, and when it ends I'm like, oh, I don't want it to end, but that's a good thing. Like, to leave you wanting more is a good thing for a band.
You don't want to be exhausted at the end of an album, just like, just finish, okay. If you still got the energy and the time, just flip it back on, flip through again.
Yeah.
If you still got the energy again, it just makes it easy to spin over and over.
Yeah.
I think this band just has that special. I can listen to this all day. It's just that good. The epic track Alliance, which I mentioned, it has my favorite solo on the album. It takes the listener for a ride. There's no rushing. There is some shredding, but the shredding itself isn't even rushed, and it just fits that song perfectly. This dude can really play, can write, and he does what a solo really needs to do. Just adds that extra flavor to the song. So well done on that one. That one is awesome.
I think fifth song, you really get to hear the keys. I'm banging on about keys, but you really get to hear them a lot in that song too, which is great. So those are our thoughts on the fourth album by Prime Creation called Souls of the Fallen. Please check it out. Highly recommend this album for just metalheads in general. Get the word out. Please share the video, like, subscribe to us, to Prime Creation. Don't forget to check out our other reviews. We've got a playlist up there or somewhere around here popping up soon. Check out the other albums that have come out this year. They're all awesome, in my opinion. And until next time, we'll see you in the dark.